Goofy Presto. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, YouTubers. Jerry Diamond with How to Get Out of Babylon. And we're reading the Spirit Flyer series, at least book 1 and 2. We're on book 2. If you haven't listened to the other ones, go back and catch up and binge watch. You know, when I was doing following me day by day, they wouldn't go to sleep until they wait to see if I uploaded a chapter. And one guy he found it about halfway through or something like that. Sat back and binge watched, and he blamed me for not getting any sleep for 2 nights. I said, "Don't blame me." And then, I think Jilly from Belly Acres did it too. She caught up, but she did. I think she watched about 3 days in a row, and I told her don't watch them all at once, but she did. I said, "Man, did you eat or sleep?" She knocked 224 videos out. She said did in like 2 or 3 days. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, don't binge watch. That's an order. Anyway, if you haven't been catching or following along, go back there to playlist. I did a playlist just for you people that get here late to the party. Okay, so this is book 2, the toy campaign. This is Happy, this New World Order Satanist witchcraft freak bought this toy store, and she's trying to get kids off under her power. So we are on chapter 17. I forgot to change it. If I did, it's supposed to be 17, not 16. I think I changed it. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I'll check it average. Okay, so 16, 17. So they're having a grand opening for the thing on July 4th, and the kids are all freaking out because they want to be first in line to get toys. But there's a numbering system. You got to have a number. You have to have a card. You have to be registered. You have to be legal to get the free toys. The high price of free toys. The high price of free corn. Listen to that. Read that. There's a call guy back then, and there was a very, very well written story about how to take 6,000 pigs to market. Just feed them free corn every day. You know, how do you enslave an entire population? You give them free corn every day, free Obama phones, free wheelchairs, free cell phones, free food, EBT, free Social Security. Get them used to that, and then you have them as a slave. Well, my goal has been from the start has been to not get to a lot of people. When I say a lot of people, I'm talking millions of people need to be in a similar area and able to be in a position to resist saying, yes, we need your help. Okay, the government wants, what were the 9 most frightening words in the English language? According to Ronald Reagan. I'm here from the government. I'm from the government. I'm here to help. I'm here to help you. 9 most frightening words, and they're terrifying words in the English language. Don't accept free help if you can help it. Don't get hooked on it. Be in a position where you can say no. You have either the mindset to determine you're going to do it, or have the ability, to have your own power, have your own food, have your own water, have your own well, have your own shelter, take care of your own health. One guy said, "I'm terrifies me is this Obamacare. You have to have health care. Why do you have to have health care? I never had health care, ever. Well, there was a short period of time when I was working at a place. I'm going to call it. I'll call it later. When my daughter was my first child was about to be born, and we didn't have health care. Back before we thought you had to have health care. And I just happened to be at the hospital. I remember it was Kaiser Permanente. No, it was a hospital. And a doctor's office or something. And the person, she saw my shirt. I was working for a security guard at Cheeseman Towers. And she said, that? We cover them. They have Kaiser, so I was able to get insurance through the company. And we had our first child in a hospital. My wife said, that's never going to happen again. She hated it. So from then on, we did home birthing, and she became a midwife and did a lot of home births for people. So anyway, that was all bunny trail, bunny trail, bunny trail. What was bunny trail for? Don't need health care. If I added up, figure 60, 120, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110. About 120, 140 years of life between my wife and my 5 children, never having been to a hospital, never been to a doctor. Okay. Now, yeah, when my youngest son, Isaac, broke his arm one time, we had to take him to a walk-in, healthcare clinic, and they set it, what do you call it, walk-in urgent care. Yeah, urgent care clinic. They set the bone. Okay, yippee-ki-yay. Other than that, my daughter went to one time, she's having a horrible miscarriage. Strung out for like 3 months. It was just terrible. Most stressful times in my family's history. In fact, that's why my wife ended up not being a midwife, because it was during that period of time when she would have taken her exam and would have been a certified midwife. But as it was, she didn't, and just decided to practice without it, and got busted because they found she was their rabbit. First find your rabbit. They find a rabbit and they string it up and kill it and gut it and skin it, and that's what they gutted and skinned her and pilloried her, and held her up as an example. And she played right along with them. Poisonous bastards. A very, very, very unfortunate, very sad and stupid thing that happened. Anyway, point being is, you really don't need health care. Take care of your own health. Listen to your body. Do what you eat, and eat good. Let food be thy medicine. Let medicine be thy food. People are learning more and more now. The herbs and vitamins and homeopathics and a lot of different natural healthcare things are the way to go. Medicines and drugs are just that. They're just drugs. They're not good for you. And God hates it. Pharmakia, witchcraft. Pharmakia is witchcraft in the book of Revelation. Witchcraft, sorcery. That the enemy would deceive the world through sorcery. And that's what they're doing. Wear this mask. Get vaccinated. Yeah, that's deception with a stupid scamdemic. All right, so enough of that preachy stuff. Let's go. Mrs. Happy's puppets. Step right up to this box, Mrs. Happy said. Barry Smedlow and the first 9 children were inside the toy store at last. Mrs. Happy took them over to the big black box right away. Everyone takes a turn, the woman instructed. Put your number in this slot here and your face up to this hole. The box will take your number. Then there will be a flash like someone taking a photograph. After that flash, move aside for the next child. Walk around to the other side of the box and you will receive your number again and your first toy. Barry and the other children gazed around at all the toys. Barry stepped up to the box. What kind of toy is it? Barry asked. Don't ask questions. There are a lot of children waiting, Mrs. Happy said. Just do as I say, then wait for me over at those big shelves by the cash register. Barry shrugged his shoulders, then stepped up to the large black box. He stared at the white circled X and put his face in the hole. The flash blinded him for an instant. As the box began to hum, Barry walked to the other side. In a few seconds, a black plastic number and a small gray figure fell out of the chute onto the floor. Barry picked up both. Hey, it's me, the bigger boy said with delight. It's sort of a puppet, but it has my face. Look, it has little chains instead of strings on the arms and legs. And my face is on the number card now, too. Only it's kind of dark. It's right in the plastic. It's a perfect likeness. Now move along, Mrs. Happy said. She snatched the puppet out of his hand and tossed it into a large metal bin behind the black box. The puppet belongs to me, or rather, the Goliath Toy Company. Who's next? Got your DNA and whatnot. I am, Jimmy Roundhouse said, holding up the number 2. Okay, 2, step up to the box, Mrs. Happy said. Many children are waiting. Jimmy Roundhouse stepped up to the big black box. He put in his number, then stuck his face in the hole. The blue light flashed like a bolt of lightning. Jimmy walked around to the back. His number and another gray puppet fell out of the chute onto the floor. This one has my face too, Jimmy said. What a crazy box. Hurry along, children, Mrs. Happy said. Put your puppets in the bin, but keep your number card. That's the rule. I have more surprises. What are those puppets good for? Barry asked. Just hold on to your number and do as I say, Mrs. Happy replied cheerfully, smiling. Hurry, children. Others are waiting. It's your turn. Number 3. Each child stepped up to the big black box like the one before. Mrs. Happy smiled at the sight. In a few minutes, the first 10 children all had pictures of their faces on the number cards. Each of the puppet faces were frozen in a big toothy smile. Big toothy smile. Exercise my tongue. Now come over to those shelves, Mrs. Happy said as she stepped over to the cash register. Just then, Nail the crow flew over to Mrs. Happy's shoulder. The bird put its beak into the old woman's ear and began whispering. You saw who go down the alley? Mrs. Happy asked. A frown appeared on the old woman's face as she listened some more. Then you know what to do. They must be processed like the others. Excuse me, the old woman said. She walked over to the front door and opened it. A cheer came up from the crowd. Nail flew up into the air. Everyone groaned when the door was shut in their faces. The old woman walked back over to the group of 10 children. You may take 2 of any of these toys on the shelf. On those shelves, Mrs. Happy said, but choose carefully. Barry looked at the long row of shelves. It was full of brand new toys, but toys that were somehow slightly different than most toys. I've never seen toys like this, Barry said. What are they? Gather round, children, Mrs. Happy said. I suppose I shall be explaining these toys all day. But since they are special and come new and improved from the Goliath Toy Company, I'll tell you what they are, then you can choose. The children crowded up around the shelves of the strange new toys. Barry was in front of them all. First, you can have a ball, Mrs. Happy said. What's a child without a ball? We all have standard. We have all the standard ones, of course. We have the regular Goliath ball. Then we have the sit ball, slammer ball, odd ball, zip ball, zero ball, slime ball, and bopper ball. Plus, to go with those, we have smacker paddles and zat bats. We also carry boomerangers and zicky stickies. The children whispered among themselves, very slowly, and touched a soot ball carefully. His finger came back with a black smudge. Don't touch that soot ball unless you plan to take it, Mrs. Happy warned. We have all Goliath brand dolls, too, including the popular Elvis dolls, Snout, Pouty, and Cork. We also carry favorites like Sissy Sassy, Woozy Susie, the twins Peedledum and Peedledee, Dimply Pimply, Honey Bunny, and Knoll Doll, also known as Two-Face, and Ginny Goo Goo. Ginny comes in the popular gooseberry scent. Your mother will almost want to make a pie out of her. Make a pie to eat from a doll? Asked Cynthia, who is number 9. Mrs. Happy ignored her. Then we have all kinds of noisemakers, the old woman said. These will really make your parents sit up and they notice you. We have tickle tones, scream bones, zoo tones, clamor phones, folly tones, hoobahs, popper sings, finger blows, doodle snits, teeter keys, blah phones, yak phones, and zingos. That finger blow looks like a tiny bagpipe, Brent said. He was number 4. Hush, child, Mrs. Happy said. Then we have all kinds of Goliath monster action figures like Black Eye, Bait, Bite, Boil, Chainsaw, Sorgrini, Bullet, Razor, Thief, Nuke, Mute, and Rat. The whole set of Goliath action victims are coming in next week, including the popular Kazoombas. Ow. Okay, it's either I'm on an electric cord or something's biting me. Not a charging cord, so something's biting me. Knock it off. These little ants bite. I didn't squish it. Okay. Sorry. It looks like my dog Sparky used old bait there for a dog chew. Alvin said. He was number 7. And then we just have general fun stuff, Mrs. Happy said, like square skates, sucker stickers, and accessories. Bop bots, claw bots, robber bots, zeb dogs, toe trippers, teddy bites, rip zippers, face erase, Goliath dice, and Goliath credit bank, sting strings, whippersnaps, stop and start darts, which of course includes a zing bow to shoot them. That sounds a little familiar. A girl picked up a teddy bite. It looked like a fuzzy teddy bear, that was scowling. She smiled at the odd bear and his jaws snapped down on her finger. She threw it back on the shelf. Uh, chomp. Don't touch it unless you plan to own one, Mrs. Happy said. They don't like to be touched by just anybody. You must have activated its battery. Now let's see. We have a few special things for your bicycle, like a Goliath combo gizmo and a faster blaster. There are some other things that still haven't come in from the factory, but these should keep you occupied. The children stared at the odd-looking toys without a word. They'd never seen such toys, and at last Barry was one to break the silence. Is that all there is? The leader of the Cobra Club asked. Barry looked unhappy. Why don't you consider the bicycle toys? Mrs. Happy asked. I would recommend them for someone in your position. They attach to you, bark, and do wonderful things. Like what? Barry asked. He picked up a strange-looking toy. It had a dial and buttons, and a kind of gauge that looked like a speedometer. It also had two little wires shooting out the top like a TV antenna. Excellent choice, Mrs. Happy said. That's a marvelous toy. That's the ever-popular Goliath combo gizmo. It goes on your bicycle. It has a speedometer, a zero radio, part walkie-talkie, and a shock screen. Really, Barry asked? Does it come with an earphone too? Yes, of course, Mrs. Happy said. With a combo gizmo, you can be wired up secretly to listen to all your favorite noises and so forth. I'll take it, Barry said. He clutched the combo gizmo in his hands. Just remember that to make it work, you need to put your number card in this little slot here, Mrs. Happy said. Without your number card, it won't work, and of course you need 2 batteries. They aren't included. No batteries, Barry said. That's cheap crap. I don't know. I hate things that don't have batteries with them. I don't try not to buy them. I knew there was a catch. The president of the Cobra Club looked at the shelves of toys. I want something that will really be fun. I want something with batteries. I want something that will really be fun, he said. What kind of fun, Mrs. Happy asked and smiled. You know, really fun, Barry said. My boy, there are many types of fun in this world, Mrs. Happy said. You'll have to be more specific. Barry looked confused. His forehead wrinkled as he thought. You know, really fun, Barry said. Like when you throw water balloons at someone, or on Halloween you soap windows and smash pumpkins. That's better, Mrs. Happy said. I know the kind of fun you need. Of course, Halloween is too far away, which is too bad. We have some really great toys and costumes for Halloween, but what I think you'd like is this Goliath's faster blaster. It will fit right on your handlebars next to your combo gizmo. She pulled out a black plastic toy that looked like a machine gun. She gave it to the boy. That's more like it, Barry said. Now what does it shoot? Whatever you aim it at, I suppose, Mrs. Happy said. No, I mean, what kind of ammunition does it shoot? Barry asked. Is it one of those motorized water guns or something like that? It will shoot water and many other things, like ammo, for instance, Mrs. Happy said. All Goliath ammunition works in a faster blaster. I've been told even stop and start darts will work, but I can't guarantee it. Can I get some of that Zammo stuff too, Barry asked. Sorry, Mrs. Happy said, ammunition is not included. You'll have to pretend for now. We could work up enough credit for the stop and start darts. I haven't received any ammo pellets from Goliath Toys yet, and remember, you'll need your number card to get the right ammo for your toy. These are special toys, and you must have your number card. You mean I need the number card to buy more stuff? Barry asked. That's correct, replied Mrs. Happy. You need the number card to buy. You also need that number card to make many of the toys work. And on top of that, you need Goliath credit. You mean this is like a credit card? Of course, Mrs. Happy said, so don't lose it. I'll take the faster blaster, Barry said. I sure wish the ammo was here, though. Another good choice, the old woman said. Now run along and let the others have their turn. Jimmy Roundhouse had been listening to what Mrs. Happy had been telling Barry. Fan of that shit. Oh yeah, it's a lot quieter, eh? Sorry. So I had to remember to do that from now on. Jimmy Roundhouse had been listening to what Mrs. Happy had been telling Barry. I want the same toys, Jimmy said. Excellent, Mrs. Happy said. Another Goliath combo gizmo and a Goliath faster blaster coming up. Remember to hold on to your number card. The toys won't work properly without it. Barry went out the front door. The line of children all strained to see what Barry was carrying. Hurry up, number 3, Mrs. Happy called to the next boy. What'd you get, Barry? The boy named Timmy Bellows asked. He was number 16, right in front of Roger. A Goliath combo gizmo and a Goliath faster blaster, Barry said. Can I see them? Another boy asked. I've never heard of toys like that. Get your own, Barry said. I'm busy. He got on his bike and waited for his friends. Jimmy came out next, then Doug and the rest of the Cobra Club. They all had the same identical toys. The other children waiting in line wanted to see, but the Cobra Club stuck together. Let's go, Barry said. He held up his faster blaster in one arm and waved it forward like a soldier leading a charge. The other boys hooted and yelled at those remaining in line as they pedaled down Main Street. Well, one-handed, or probably no hands, because they're carrying Goliath faster blaster one hand, the what was the other thing? Combo gizmo in the other. It doesn't say they put them on their handlebars. Oh well. Okay. Sorry. Shut up, Jerry. Minor details. It's just a book. Shut up. Okay. The other boys hooted and yelled at those remaining in line as they pedaled down Main Street. Mr. Smedla sent in the next group of 10 children as the numbers 8, 9, and 10 came out with their free toys. Step right up to the big black box, number 11, Mrs. Happy said, and make sure you hang on to your number card. You'll need to keep it to use some of the toys. You also will need it to make future purchases. I assume that's what the word is. Turn the page. Future orders. Put the card in the box and your face up to the window. There'll be a flash like a photograph. Then go around to the back. Put the puppet in the metal bin with the other puppets. They belong to me. Be sure to hang on to that number card. I told you going back to the dump would be a mistake, Susan said. Susan was telling John her cousin was red-faced and angry as he sat on the back of her Spirit Flyer bicycle. But John wasn't listening. He had hoped he could get the buried... Hey, bud. If they do several of those, leave one of them, because I like to go to their channel. Yeah, leave one of them, because I want to delete them, block them. Not that it makes much difference. They're going to sign up another one. I will also look at the dates that they signed up, and usually it's really recent. I know who it is. Susan was... I told you to... Going back to the dump would be a mistake, Susan said... was telling John her cousin was red-faced and angry as he sat on the back of her Spirit Flyer bicycle. But John wasn't listening. He had hoped he could get the buried toys. But at the dump, while the line was the toy store, got shorter. After much digging, he had uncovered a box he was sure was full of toys, but that's when the Cobra Club had showed up. Under Barry's command, the boys had shot firecrackers and cherry bombs with their new faster blasters, and when John tried to escape, he discovered that the Cobra Club had also stolen his Goliath bike. He was trapped and would have been in serious trouble if Susan hadn't zoomed in out of the sky to rescue him. Susan had landed the bike at the bridge over the Sleepy Eye River, and John felt frustrated that he had just missed getting the toys again. And letting the Cobra Club capture his Goliath bike was pure humiliation. Susan felt sorry for John. As the two children looked back in the direction of the dump, they saw smoke rising in the air. Apparently the firecrackers had started something burning. Well, at least I can still get toys from Mrs. Happy, John said as he pulled out his plastic card with 564 on it. He looked at it and then sighed. Let's go back and check on the line. John began walking toward town. Susan watched him in disbelief. Another try to get toys in the dump, another attack, another rescue. Still John had learned nothing. She stared at him for a long time, trying to decide what to do, but John started running and was soon out of sight. Susan looked back in the direction of the dump once more. As she turned to go back into town, she looked down at the old broken mirror. This time the mirror showed the line at the toy store earlier that morning. Her eyes went wide with surprise. She stopped. She squinted and looked again. She stared back in time in a deeper way for several minutes. Now she knew how important it was to keep John and Lois and Catherine from getting their free toys. I've got to find them, Susan said. She looked back at the old mirror once more. This time the scene shifted. There's a mountain of toys with fireworks going off all around. And Mrs. Happy was there, and so was John, scooping up the toys in his arms. All the children in town were there, linked together by a long chain. Suddenly all the pieces fell into place for Susan. She could see the future, and she had to stop it. Immediately she began pedaling as fast as she could go. The crow circling high above her swooped down closer. The little black eyes of the bird followed her all through town. End of chapter 17. See if there's a picture. I don't think there was. Nope. No pictures. I'm sorry. All right, good night, peoples. Hope you're enjoying it somewhat. Spiritual warfare. Important. Okay, good night. God bless. And Gadian, if you can go to the channel of that porno thing, then and delete it, block them. Let me know if you can do that or not. I'm going to do that right now. Goodbye. God bless everybody.